Coaches This family, welcome again to the show. Another edition, and we're going to be discussing the Jamaica National Premier League because it is bothering me right now to see what is happening with the Premier League. Most leagues in the world they are playing right now. As a matter of fact, those areas that football are playing are what you would say countries that would have a higher corona rate than whatever is happening in Jamaica. Yes, Jamaica had a spike or a second wave, as they would call it. However, it is not that devastating in terms of numbers as it relates to the bigger countries. Yet, they are playing football. As a matter of fact, fans are now back in stadiums since the weekend because the games had played, they had a few fans in admission. So I don't know what is happening in Jamaica. It is quite interesting. It is quite mind boggling what the powers that be are doing to the Premier League. Now, viewers and subscribers, if this continues, then the local players, even though they are in training, are going to be at a disadvantage. Reason being, there's a hectic schedule coming up where the World Cup qualifiers are concerned. Very hectic. And the coach has to be strategic in his planning to ensure that this scheduling does affect our progress or our ability to qualify for the World Cup. Now, Whitmore is very concerned, and I am concerned, right? Because the local players are going to be in trouble. Now, this is also opening doors to the players that are showing interest from England to play for the Reggae Boys. A lot of applications are in. Persons are working on their passport. Yes, yes. I did a little research, and quite a number of players are interested in playing for the national team. Not only that, the coach said that he's open to go and get players for the team. So, in essence, if that is going to continue and no National Premier League is playing, then these local players are going to be in limbo and it cannot happen. The powers that be, they have to do something with this National Premier League. Here's what Whitmore is saying about the schedule. It is very demanding schedule. It's a very demanding schedule. And that the teams await 3 games in September and October windows, as well as January and March 2022 ones. November 2021 has 2 games. So it is very important that we commence the preparations for our local arm now. Can you imagine? That's what we're saying, He said, while the start of the National Premier League was crucial in the process, if the local based players were to be a part of the planning, Whitmore conceded. So you see, if the National Premier League doesn't resume sooner than later, the local based players are going to be exonerated from the plans that Whitmore would have had for them. The fact of this pandemic thing and the scheduling of people is that the pool of players would have to widen. And if the local players are not involved in that pool, then that spells trouble. That spells trouble. He said that I'm disgruntled at this moment with the powers that be, whether the government or the sponsors or whatever. it's just not a good look. It's not a good look. He said that while the National Premier League, or the start of the National Premier League, was crucial in the process of the local based players were to be a part of a plan, Whitmore conceded, we have no control over the situation. We need players at their best and not at a disadvantage for selection, and need games for them as well. So if no league is played, how are you going to look at these players? How are you going to judge them? How are they going to be a part of your plan? Because you could be training from now till next year. You need much preparation. You need game time. You know what I mean? So this is it just a earth up my head right now. Premier League should have started already. Mark you though, the start of the Premier League has been pushed back to at least February. February, them say, no. After the Ministry of Health and Wellness ruled that no organized contact sport would be played in the 2020 calendar year, adding that a spike in the novel coronavirus numbers over the Christmas period could see a further delay in the start of the league. So the league delay that was supposed to start in about October, right? The league delay, Christmas coming. Now I mean, people are going out and about. So the numbers will spike. And if it is slated to start in February at least, and the numbers go up, then it's going to be a pushback. And to me, that doesn't make any sense. I did say in October, but it was slated to start in November. But that plan was scrapped due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic and the continued high rate of infections and deaths. To my knowledge, Jamaica has less than 300 deaths. We're about approximately 11, 12,000 cases, if so many. Our recovery rate is up. So I don't know, can football be played without fans in Jamaica? Can some protocols be put in place by these clubs, or have some selected venues where the games will be played? Can these things happen to ensure that we don't go all over the place? We have stadiums, the better ones here in Jamaica. Stadium East, National Stadium. They're gonna save money to rent these. But you have other the Anthony Spalding, the Jews land. We viewers and subscribers, me kind of frustrated and know with what is happening. Football should have a player. And because of that, the boss him now rule out the recruitment of overseas players, because it is going to be critical, because if my local based player is not playing, you think me now go feed the next best? Yeah. Now, renowned journalist and sports personality, general manager of the Aberbury Football Club, Clyde Juridini, he weighed in on the matter, and he says that the Premier League should be called off this season if the clubs do not get a clear indication of its official start by next month. So, quite frankly, Juridini said, if you say at least February, you don't give me a set date, then it don't make no sense. It doesn't make sense. That's what he's saying. The JFF is set to meet with the Minister of Health and Wellness next month to attempt again to get approval for the start of the league. However, as the government's curfew to curb the spread of COVID-19 during the holiday season runs until January 15, the first 2 weekends of that month would not be available. So January out. Giordini also stated that CONCACAF's mandate that all domestic competitions across the region end by June 2021 to make way for the Gold Cup tournament in the summer creates further issues. Can't work if you not start early. Drew think this one. joke thing. Now, Juridini said, one is that by the end of June, all local league must be terminated because of Gold Cup starts in the first week of July. So we couldn't be having a local league while that is in progress. So there's a restriction on time, and you only have 6 month window. So the Premier League has also been remodeled to have double headers on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays, which means we won't have midweek games. So that will take away from the time or the amount of games played if the midweek games are taken away. You know what I mean? So that still have to stretch it out. And that not gonna make no sense. No sense. Right now, right now, I know the thing seems sticky on the local players, and I'm concerned about them. We had a few local players who went down to Saudi Arabia and they look out of sorts because what? No match fitness. Athletes need games. So if you're a track and field person, you need competition to run. If you're a footballer, you need competition to play. If you're a cricketer, you need competition to bat or bowl or field. Yes, you need these competitions. So training, 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 training. I'm always in the nets, hitting the ball, bowling, bowling, bowling. But in a competitive setting, that gives you a different mindset, frame of mind. It will now test your ability. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So, people, what is your take on this Premier League stalling? Is the government being fair enough to the situation? Are they only looking on what they are getting from this? What about the players? We have World Cup qualifiers coming up. They need games, people. In other words, the principle of training. And this one is called principle of reversibility. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So you could have trained until thy kingdom come. You need games, you need competitions. You know what I mean? So viewers and subscribers, I want you to weigh in on whatever is transpiring here in Jamaica with the National Premier League. Yeah, and whatever is happening is affecting the local based players getting their chance to rep the national team, because as Coach Whitmore says, the door is not closed for the call up of overseas players. And like I said before, there are many players out there now, through my little research, that are showing interest in playing because they know that their availability to play or eligibility to play for England has been down to the ground. So the next bet to play in a World Cup or to play international football is to play for Jamaica. So these players are coming in, rolling in like marbles. So people, I want you to comment down below, what options do you think that the government could utilize? Because obviously they are the ones who are blocking this thing through the Ministry of Health. What can be done? As Clyde Giroudini said, if no football is played in January and I start February, I might as well just scrap it, because it will affect Gold Cup, and that is law in CONCACAF. Thank you again for tuning into the Coach's Desk. Share your opinion down below, and just remember to like up the video. Remember also, if you are new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you'll be the first to be informed when we drop these videos. Thank you again, Coach's Desk. I'm out.